Hey guys, today we are doing lesson 107 in the math book, and it's a pretty short lesson. It is writing numbers as decimals, but this time, or fractions as decimals, but this time it's actually mixed numbers. And just remember, a mixed number is a whole number and a fraction together. So if you look in the middle of the page, the figure below has three squares. 2 and 3/10 of the squares are shaded. We can describe the shaded parts by either using a mixed number or a decimal number. Both the mixed number and the decimal number are read 2 and 3/10. So this is 2 and 3/10 written as a fraction, or 2.3 as a decimal. And this is still 2 and 3/10, but sometimes people say 2.3. But it technically means the same thing because it represents that this is 3 out of 10. In the decimal number, the whole part is to the left of the decimal. So the whole numbers, the two whole squares, are to the left of the decimal. And the fraction part, the 0.3 or 3/10, is to the right of the decimal point. In the next figure, 1 and 33/100 squares are shaded. So here's your one whole and then 33 out of 100. We can name 1 and 33/100 as a mixed number. 1 with 33 over 100, 1 and 33/100, or 1.33, which is still 1 and 33/100. But that would be writing it as a decimal number. But as I said, both of them are technically read 1 and 33/100. If you look over at the next page, you will see a couple of examples. Example 1 is write each mixed number as a decimal number. So you will just take each of these, 3 and 7/10. Well, we know another way to write 7/10 is 0.7. So we're going to write 3.7. And I know it gives you the answers underneath, but we're just going to work on them anyway. Okay, so cover up the answers for a second and look at B. This is 16 and 17/100. So remember over here, because we just had 1 0, we just have one digit after the decimal, 3.7. But here, because we have 2 zeros, we're going to have 2 digits after the decimal. So this will be written 16.17. So we just put our 17 after the decimal. And then last, letter C, is 8 and 9/100. So we only have one digit on top, but we do have 2 zeros. So that means we're going to have 2 digits past the decimal. We have to go all the way to the hundredths place. So we will write our whole number, 8, and put our decimal. And then we're going to have to fill in with 2 numbers, or 2 digits, but we only have 1, 9. So guess what? It's going to be 09. So it's like we talked about in money. If you had 9 pennies out of 100 or 9 pennies out of $1, you would have 0.09 or 9 cents. So you have to put the 0 in front as a placeholder. So 8.09 is 9/100. If we wrote 8.9, it would be 8 and 9/10, which would be a totally different number. Okay, so you can read through the solution as well if you would like, but again, it just shows the answers right there. Then in example 2, it says write each decimal number as a mixed number. So we're just going to take the decimal, 24.9, and change it to 24. And because it only has one digit after the decimal, this is 9/10. So we're going to write it like this, 24 and 9/10. All right, the next 5.23 or 5.23 is 5 and 23 100ths. 2 digits and 2 zeros. And it had 2 digits past the decimal here. And then you can see below, of course, that it gives you the answer. Then C is 4.03. And we know if there's a point or decimal and 2 spaces, we're in the hundredths. So we're going to write 4 and 3 100ths. And you'll see, of course, it gives it to you there. If you'd like, you can do the practice problems as well. Well, let's go ahead and look at practice A. You would write a mixed number and write the picture as a mixed number. So for A, you would put how many whole squares you have. And then what is your fraction? Well, it is 1 out of 10. So we would write 1 1/10. Okay. Then B says write the number of shaded squares as a decimal number. So we're going to write the same thing, just in a little bit different form. We still have 1 whole square here. And then we still have 1 out of 10, which would be written as 0.1, 1.1. Okay. So you are more than welcome to review by working B through or C through H on the practice if you need a little bit more practice with that. But if you've got it, then you may go on to the problem set. And today we are doing problem set 107, and you may skip these problems, 14 through 17 and 22 and 23. So you can skip those problems. Thank you, guys.